As a content creator, something that you have to learn to accept is the fact that people will make up tons of rumors about you.
Liar!
And perhaps the funniest rumor that I've heard about myself is that my real height is 6'2" to 6'3" at the very most. But what's funny about this is that I genuinely believe that this is actually the perfect height, man. If I was 6'2", 6'3", I obviously would have disclosed this at this point, as I'm always about the truth on this channel.
I can't lie!
5 inches. Making him 96.7 centimeters tall, or 6'5.5" in freedom units.
Very close, Shane, but I'm actually 198 centimeters, so you're roughly 1 centimeter off, making me 6'6", such as this video shows. And then just make a little line on the wall, and boom. It is 6'6". This is the exact measurement. Now there is a variety of different reasons as to why this is like the prime, the best height you could possibly be. And today what I'm gonna do is break down why it's the best height. Let's get it. Now, first things first, I am actually talking about a real 6'2". This is going to be the best height you could possibly be. Now, the issue is heightflation. I'm sure that you've actually heard this term, but so many guys are lying about their heights, with the majority of the Western population being about 5'9" on average, with the worldwide average being roughly 5'7". But yet, so many guys, let's say they're 5'9", 5'10", they love to try to claim the 6 foot marker, which makes 6'2" feel like it's not even that tall. But if you ever meet somebody in person who's a genuine 6'2", measured barefoot, first thing in the morning, this height is actually insanely impressive. It is the perfect height to height mog and get tons of life opportunities without being too extreme. Tons of scientific literature actually shows that the ideal height for a man falls between the ranges of 6 foot to 6'3" at the max across all cultures across the entire world. So this would mean that 6'3" is essentially the upper end, the tallest you can possibly be without potentially getting any negative side effects from being too tall. Tall enough to be seen as the leader, very masculine and powerful, without appearing too tall to where you can appear lanky and awkward. It's like the golden ratio, but for height. And something else I will add to this, I've noticed men in particular, they like to follow people, especially other men, in leadership roles who are slightly above average. Look at any male celebrity who is like almost worshipped amongst the majority of men. I think Ryan Gosling is a great example. Ryan Gosling is slightly above average, but he's not insanely attractive. Like, he's attractive enough for men to aspire to without being so attractive that men envy him. And I think 6'2" also has that exact same effect, because it's above average without being such an aggressive height mog that guys will envy and literally just hate you with a passion just because you stand out so much. I think above 6'2", above 6'3", this is when you start getting lots and lots of hate. The male modeling industry, you guys think that it's all based on the face, all based on the looks, but the truth is they want a blank slate, somebody to represent their clothing, but you also have to have extremely specific measurements. More specifically, they want you to be between 6 foot and 6'2". It's a very, very small range, but this is kind of the demands of the modeling industry. And it's because these designers, they make the clothes for this height range, man. So for me in particular, I've had lots of opportunities with modeling, and I've gotten like some catalog stuff, I've done all kinds of stuff, but really getting far in this industry and doing lots of runway, for example, is incredibly difficult, because at 6'6", literally none of the clothes fit me. Like, I would go to castings all the time. They have all of these clothes on the rack, and I would throw on an outfit. All of the time, man, I felt like Buddy the Elf in the North Pole trying on these clothes.
I think they're too small.
It was like I felt like these clothes were made for midgets. That's another issue, man. Like, yeah, like past 6'2", it's going to be very difficult to do anything like modeling, anything like this. But in addition to that, typical clothes are very difficult to fit. Like, just getting a suit off the rack, for example, for me is impossible. I cannot get a suit off the rack. Flying coach on an airplane is literally torture. The second someone tilts their seat back just a little bit, I'm losing it, man. I have no space. My knees are in deep, deep pain. 6'2" is going to be the maximum height to really reap all of the benefits of being tall without getting these negative side effects of the height. And let's not forget women as well. I think 6'2" is the perfect height for men because women, they kind of look up to the guy who's 6'2", but you're going to avoid one type of woman whenever you are this height, and this is going to be the woman obsessed with height. There are lots of guys, I think once you're like 6'5" and up, there are women out there who specifically go after tall guys. It doesn't matter if you're ugly, it doesn't matter if you're broke, it doesn't matter anything. There's a select percentage of the female population who are obsessed with height. This does not mean that this girl loves you for you. She just wants you because you are tall. And when you are 6'2", a lot of the times you won't really deal with these women because you're not in that super like 1 in 1,000 height range. You're more like 1 out of 100. And so that's actually much better to avoid this type of woman. Now, still the majority of the population is not going to be 6'2", or perhaps you want to be a little bit taller. Nutrition is going to be the #1 hack to actually getting there, which is why I launched my awesome supplement company, kalosique. I believe there are 2 primary supplements that I sell that are going to be the best for you to optimize your height growth genetics, because height growth is only 60 to 80% genetic, 20 to 40% environmental, meaning that you can control it. Number 1, Titan Growth 2.0. Now this has 500 to 1,000% of all your daily required nutrients to optimize your height growth genetics. Now, did you know that 92% of Americans across all social classes are deficient in basic vitamins and minerals, which is going to shut down IGF-1 human growth hormone production, closing your growth plate. So this will help make sure you have all the nutrition to grow as tall as possible. It even beats all of the top height growth supplements on the market, and this is not a height growth supplement, man. This simply fulfills all your nutrient requirements to grow in all aspects. And let's not forget Every's Rage. This is the #1 best testosterone booster on the entire market. So to grow taller, for example, you need nutrition and you need optimal hormone production. This covers the hormones like freaking crazy. It's got Tanga Ali, which increases testosterone by 37% after just 4 weeks of taking it. And this is the clinical dosage of 200 milligrams of maca root, which has been scientifically proven to enhance sexual function, sexual desire, literally everything. This has zinc, which is a precursor to creating testosterone. In clinical studies, it has been shown to increase height. Oyster extract, which is great for your B12, for zinc, magnesium, everything. And it's got boron, which increases free testosterone by 28%, decreases estrogen by 39%. Not to mention tons of herbs that are just amazing for boosting testosterone, like pumpkin seed extract, all sorts of things, man. This is the best testosterone booster on the entire market. Pick it up now, kalosique.com. Use the code ARIES for 25% off. Sell ends this weekend. Now, guys, you have to be joining Kalos VIP right now. This is the best school of self-improvement ever in the industry, ever made, because I have so much content. It will help you level up instantly. I've got my 3-hour looks maxing masterclass, 2-hour height growth masterclass, my social media masterclass, female nature masterclass. Right now, we're doing the aesthetic physique masterclass every 2 weeks. We up on a group VIP call with me and all of my students. So right now, it is only $12. You gotta join now. Link in the description. In photos and video, 6'2" looks very dominant, it looks very aesthetic, but it does not look awkward. So many Hollywood leading men are around 6 foot to 6'3" max, and really not much further than that, because on camera, a little bit above average looks freaking sick, but once you are too tall or too short, not to mention the fact that it's going to be harder to associate with your co-stars, things like this, it just does not look as good and as aesthetic on camera. And let's not forget the photos with all of your friends. Once you are too tall, like your head's gonna be cropped out, or even like you have a friend, he's not that short, maybe he's like 5'7", but it looks like you're completely height mogging him, and your own friends don't even want to post you on their social media just because the height difference makes them look bad as well. But 6'2", man, that is the perfect range to be, and it's not so intense, so aggressive to where you're taking attention away from other people. It ages you better physically to be 6'2". Being taller, you're going to be reaping all of the benefits throughout your entire life of making more money, having more dating opportunities, more business opportunities, literally everything. But past 6'2", 6'3", this is when you start getting some complications. This is when you start getting joint issues, hip issues, shoulder issues, like almost anything related to the body. You're gonna start having a lot more injuries, things like this, especially the older that you get. But 6'2", you're reaping all of the benefits, everything. And let's not forget The last reason 6'2" is prime is going to be for the aesthetic purposes. So your physique is honestly going to be prime at 6'2". So you're gonna have the longer, more aesthetic striations because tons of bodybuilders throughout history have been taller. But once you're too tall, it is almost incredibly difficult to fill out your frame. Think of David Lade. He is about 6'2", I believe, and his frame looks insane, man. He has one of the most aesthetic physiques of the modern day century, man. Because at 6'2", it is easier to fill out the frame. Taller than this, it's hard no matter how much muscle you have. Even if you're just freaking huge, with clothes on, 9 times out of 10, you're still gonna look skinny. But that's it, man. Subscribe if you're new. I love you with all my heart. Comment what you think is the most ideal height. Comment how tall you are, your parents, everything, man. I love you guys. Peace.